That's better, isn't it? Oh dear. Hello there, Master Hellish here, and welcome to our Tuesday night Kerbal Space program Let's Play. Yeah, I forgot to turn the camera on. That's what happens when you have a capture card in your computer and it's capturing no signal. You get a test screen. But hello, and welcome everyone. The viewer count's not here. Let's get that on screen. I think it's a little bit delayed, but that's cool. As you can see, we're going for the wide shot at the moment, which is cool. The only problem is with the wide shot is that my background's not big enough. So I might have to do something about that. I'm just so used to having the square face, you know, like this. I did the square face like that. Of course, we've got the flight stick out. The camera looks like it is in relatively the right position. But yeah, it looks okay, yeah, and the chat covers it up and all of that sort of good stuff. But there we go. Hopefully that's all going to be cool. We're going to do some Kerbal Space program today. Just not seeing any chat from the YouTube people yet. So I'm just going to quickly go over and have a quick look. We are doing something a little bit different tonight. I'm running... I did it as an event. The square one looks like I'm in a void. I am in a void. What are you talking about? I'm in the void of space, Jack. I'm in the void of space. Let's just head over to YouTube Live. Got myself muted. I'm seeing the restream bot. So, yeah, I mean, it's streaming all right. No one's on the YouTube chat. That's fine. We just don't worry about them. So, we've got lots to do today. Lots and lots and lots to do. But what we're going to do, first of all, is we're going to have a look at last time. We are. I hope. Maybe. Let's. I've done it again, folks. The thing is, right, Jack is very, very kind in putting these last time clips together to remind us where we are in the series. The problem is he sends them to me in the afternoon of before a live stream, and I'm working, and then after work I collect the little one from nursery, do dinner, put her to bed, and come down, sit down and start the live stream. So very rarely do I have a chance to actually implement the file that he sends me. So we'll see if I can do that relatively smoothly. Hang on. We have not lost. I've sent a new moon base to the moon, ready to land. So we're going to try and do it again. Okay, this time I think we're coming in with even more fuel than last time. This area here is actually a relatively good place to land. So I'm quite happy with that. Very happy with this choice of landing spot actually. 4 kilometers to go. 20. Okay, so the RCS now is trying to keep us up. I'm going to use the RCS to turn us round onto the landing legs. That is what I wanted to do last time. So let's get a lab module up and running, shall we? So we've managed to get within 60 kilometers of the space station, and then we're just going to point ourselves at the target. We're going to get a bit close here. Yay! We did it! Okay, so there we go, folks. We now have a science lab, so we're going to actually have to bring somebody up here to do the science and all of that good stuff. So there we go, folks. That was last time. And that reminder is actually really good for me because I don't remember what I did yesterday, let alone last week. But I'm looking forward to cracking on today. We've got a lot of stuff to do. The Discord announcement didn't work. I think the bot's down, or there's a problem with the bot. So if one of the mods could do an announcement and tag everyone, then That might be why no YouTube chat. There may be, maybe. So there we go. Once again, thank you very much to Jackamak. Now, here is something. So that was last time, but I've actually been doing something since last time. So I've done a little bit of work between streams. So let me get the right screen and all that sort of stuff up and running, and I will show you. Yeah, there are people watching on YouTube. We've also got one person watching on Twitch at the moment, according to my statistics. Nobody on Facebook. Usually we have a few people pop along on Facebook for our Tuesday night streams. Right then. So we'll swap over to the game. And we'll go over to our... I've renamed everything, right? I've given everything a 3-letter capital designation depending on what they're orbiting. So you got Ker Comsat 1, Moon Comsat 1, Moon Comsat 2. So we know exactly where they are. It's nice and easy to see. And we've got the Kerbal Space Station. So last time we saw this, we added a lab. Now we've got a little bit more than just a lab. Okay, I've expanded it slightly. And actually the sun's rising. That's it. When you're on a space station orbiting a planet and the sun peaks around there, you do call it a sunrise still. So now that was actually brilliant timing. I couldn't have timed that any better. So what are we looking at here? So let's zoom in a little bit. Actually, let's just do that. So the first part of this space station was the core module and the living quarters. So the core module is this bit back here. This has got all the... Actually, let's turn the lights on. Turn the lights on. There we go. And we'll also close those doors. Fantastic. So, fantastic indeed. Is there enough solar panels on there? No, we need more solar panels. We're going to put some solar arrays on. Anyway, this bit here at the back, that's the control node. So all of the command and controls inside there. We've got a relay antenna, a standard antenna, and all. That's where it. That's basically all. That's the hub of it all. That's the control. Okay. Then we've got this section over here. These two items. They are the living quarters. We saw them last time. This is my failed attempt at making a tug. I say failed attempt because it worked, apart from it hasn't got a grabber on the front. So we need to build a new tug at some point. And last time, as you saw in Jack's clip, this is the science module. And on the science module, we can extend these booms. And it just makes the space station look even more epic. I like that. What's new since last time is we now have a fuel tank on the side of the space station as well. So we've got this kind of cross shape going on. This fuel tank, there was a few ships docked to the space station, and they were ships that had brought various different parts. Various different components of the space station, and they had fuel left over. So I brought a fuel section up, and we've just transferred all the fuel into it. It's quite full. So if we ever need to refuel something, we can do that at the space station. And finally, we've got this. So sometimes I test things between live streams, and this vessel here is one of those tests. And this is actually the second version of this test. And the idea is that this is a capsule and rocket for getting kerbals from the surface to the space station and back down again. And yeah, Brandon, if you're having problems on Twitch, YouTube automatically does the encoding and stuff. It's different. You should be all right. And this is the second iteration, because the first time I tried to do this, I didn't put a docking port on it. So I couldn't actually connect it to the space station while the kerbals were here. So we actually have Exo and Jessica Boom, which are Viewer Plus subscribers. So now's a good time to thank Jackamak for being a Viewer Plus subscriber there. And our latest sub was Beanie Nixon. Thank you very much, everybody, for supporting the channel. It means a lot. I have recently tweaked the prices of Viewer Plus, but it was only a few pence here and there to get the percentages of the discounts correct. I think a couple went a couple of pence up and a couple went a couple of pence down. So not a lot. It's all fine. Don't worry about it. So there we go, folks. The space station currently. And so what I decided was, instead of bringing these guys back, I would bring them back at the beginning of today's live stream. So let's do that now. So what we'll do is that we'll say whatever reason these two people came up here for, they've finished now. So we're going to undock. We'll just switch to this vessel. We'll immediately turn the RCS on so that we can make sure that we don't crash into that boom. We'll just pull ourselves away from the space station a little bit. There we go. And we'll get these guys to come back to the planet. So we'll just pop ourselves retrograde, turn off the RCS, and activate the engine. Whenever I put a vessel connected to the space station, I do try and let's just get the sound right. Is it me or can you not hear that? What? Why did this? Oh, I have to click accept. Accept. Settings. Oh, was that a bit loud? I think it was. Accept. There we go. I think that's okay. And if we go to map mode, our periapsis is coming down. Brilliant. I think that is a bit loud, isn't it? Oh, it's not too bad actually. We're going to try and dump them in the ocean. Hopefully everything will be okay. So now that we're coming back and we've got a suborbital trajectory, we're going to stage this so that we disconnect the bottom segment. Come on, stage. Whoa, steady. There we go. Now hopefully that doesn't flip round and smash into us. Looks like it's okay. So it looks a bit odd, the bottom of this. We might actually need a bigger ablator, but hopefully these guys will land safely. And if they do, then there's no sound in space. That's true. So, yep, we'll just fast forward now because all we're doing is just coming back down to the planet. So, item number 1 for today was to show you the space station progress. And once we've got these back down to the ground, I will show you the progress on the moon space station because we actually started that as well. Oh, actually, we can skip that. The moon's the same. We've got exactly the same space station going around the moon as we've got going around Kerbin. So it's got the command module, it's got the living quarters, it's got the science module, and it's got the fuel tank, which is fantastic. The only thing now is that we need some science people to actually be inside the science module, and they need leveling up before they do that. So we're going to try and do some leveling up. Looks like we're doing okay on the re-entry so far. So I'm getting ready to do this, to stage the parachutes. So we've got Exo and Jesse Kaboom in this particular module, in this particular ship. Drogues. There we go. That seems to be working pretty well. It's falling a bit fast, this one, so hopefully the main chutes are enough to slow it down enough. Yeah, 6 meters per second, I think we'll be alright with that. So there we go, folks. it looks like we've got a simple rocket to get people up to the space station and back again. It's just an adaptation of the, I think it's the Eagle 1. I'll show it in the vehicle assembly building soon. We'll just turn the SAS off because why not? Okay, so I think the first time I set this up without the docking port, I did it without anybody on board, and apart from not being able to actually dock to the space station, it worked brilliantly. So I put the docking port on and I sent kerbals up in that one. So there we go. So if we just nip inside the vehicle assembly building, I'll show you that. So let's, this is the Eagle 1 plus the space station transport. So this is what it looks like. We're using the good old Eagle 1. It's got one rocket engine on the bottom. And it's got that capsule in the top, which is looking pretty good. And it flies pretty well. It flies pretty well. The only thing is that I would like this fairing to be a little bit lower down the stack. So I'll just change that while we're in here. And what I'll show you the fuel tank rocket that I used. So this is the Buzzard 5 with the fuel tank on top. Simple as that. And if you notice, the second stage of the Buzzard 5, oh, I didn't mean to take that bit off. There we go. It's just an engine, a probe core, SAS, solar panels, and no fuel. What I did is I put a little bit of fuel in the bottom of the fuel tank, and this little tiny rocket vessel thing used the fuel from the fuel tanks to put the fuel tank in place, and then we just detached it and discarded it, got rid of it. So that all worked pretty good. So now I want to design a brand new rocket. Well, a brand new craft. So, well, don't save that. And we're going to build it on top of a Buzzard 5, I think. Yeah, we're gonna build it on top of a Buzzard 5 because I want to get this as far as possible. Now we're not going to. Are we going to use a fairing? We're not going to use a fairing, but we are going to use some staging. So there's a staging, and really, ideally, we want some sort of adapter, but none of those adapters fit. Brilliant. Oh dear. So the idea, what I want to do is I want to build something that can leave Kerbin's orbit the moon, go to Minmus, out of the sphere of influence of Kerbin, and back again. Because apparently that will get your people to level 3. And I'm just wondering about the sizes of these couplings and how big. Oh, hang on, is that it? So even that's not the right size. Oh, there it is. Wow, that's actually got quite a lot of fuel in it. Okay, what we'll do is we'll take out that. There we go. We'll remove the RCS because we don't need it for this particular mission. I don't think. And then we will do another interstage and then couple the final vessel on the top. And the final vessel will just be a big fuel tank. This is the bit that will land on Minmus. Hang on, we need an engine. And get us back again. That's the plan. So all of the bit down here, the orange bit, is to get it into orbit. This mid stage here, and really I think we should disable the crossfeed or enable crossfeed here. There we go. This mid stage is to allow, I mean, I don't even know why I've got a staging adapter on there, is to get us round the moon and to Minmus. And then this bottom stage is to land on Minmus and then get home again. And I'm wondering whether I should do it with a Kerbal on board to begin with or not. Right, I want a probe section on here because there's a good reason for that. Because we're going to potentially sending scientists up there, and I want a decent probe to be able to control the vessel, whether the scientists can or cannot. So let's get some thermal protection for re-entry. Then we'll put our bay on it. In our bay we will put our probe core, some reaction control, small inline reaction wheels, and some electrical. And we'll also put the panels on the side. Cool. Built a few like this now, haven't we? And then I think with the drogues we should be alright just to do parachute and parachutes. Oh my goodness, it's put it all in one stage. Okay, let's... I mean, this is an interesting rocket, but it should do it. It should do what we want. It's a matter of just flying it right, which I don't know if I trust myself with, to be honest. Right, so we've got all sorts of bits and bobs disconnecting now, which we don't want. I mean, that's not until later. That's not until, like, right near the end. That's not until we've done some sort of mid-stage thing. So, bottom stage, separate the side boosters, separate the second stage. The second stage burns. Then we separate the third stage, light the third stage engine, and finally on the way back we separate and land with the drogue and the main chute. Right, that seems to be okay. The Buzzard 5 plus Adventure Craft 1. Why not? Let's not even spell it right. Adventure. That looks better. What's our thrust to weight ratio on this? 1.54. That's not too bad. Let's just adjust these boosters, just to give us a thrust to weight ratio which is a little bit close to 1.4. Yeah, 1.42. So I'm not sure on the perfect trajectory to get this. I mean, I can get this round Kerbin. I can get it round the moon. I could probably then get it to Minmus. Yeah, I should be able to do this. We've done all of those things individually. We've gone round Kerbin. We've gone to the moon. We've gone to Minmus, and we landed something, but we haven't actually brought anything back from Minmus yet. Yeah, that seems like it could be a problem. Right, we've got a reaction wheel in this, and it's really tall. I'm not very happy about that. And then again, on Minmus, you can almost get things to stand up just on their reaction wheels. I feel like we should just put some landing gear on it, though. Just the light ones. Just 3. I think that will do the job. Hopefully they don't generate too much drag. Now, if this does go terribly wrong, we need an abort. So action group for an abort will probably be decouple this and deploy drogues. That's what the abort key is going to do. We need do these need to be up here? No, let's move them out of the way. Let's move them down here and put an antenna on it. So we get some communications. This is probably overkill, that one, so let's put one of these on. Oh, the viewer plus people are getting their points. You know what? I'm going to change that, folks. I'm going to write a note now. We're going to change it so it happens at like 2 o'clock in the morning so we don't see it. There we go. I could see it spamming out the corner of my eyes. Okay, so I've got those bits on there. We may as well put them on an action group. Custom one. There we go. Right. At midnight. Yeah, Hellish After Dark. 2 a.m. stream. We're not going to do a 2 a.m. stream. So, folks, I'm going to leave it up to the chat. Do we take somebody on this rocket for the first ever time? Or do we test it first without anybody on? What does the chat think? I'm not sure. I'm just going to have a quick drink because it's boiling in this office. I've already got some fans running. Not all of them. I ain't got the big noisy one on, but I've got the small little quiet ones on. Jackamak says test run. Okay. Fair enough. Test run. Here we go. Let's save this. Make sure nobody's on board. And we'll do a launch. This is we may need the solar panels on this, so we will warp to sunrise. There we go. So yeah, I think I agree with you guys though. So SAS is on, throttle to maximum. We have actually got the same layout for the solar panels on the second stage. So this is actually a 3-stage rocket. It's our first 3-stage rocket. So we're ready to go. We're ready to go with this first test. Let's do it in 3, 2, 1. Okay. That did not work. To be fair, the abort worked nicely, didn't it? Okay. We're gonna have to try again. So, what went wrong? And how much did that cost us? 54,000. Okay, let's have a look. So the staging appears to be right, so it must have been the action groups. So yeah, look, I've got them set to stage where it wants to be set to abort. Deploy, shoot, decouple. Brilliant. Oh dear. Right, there we go. Let's save that. Make sure nobody's on board, and have another go. Here's another 54,000, everybody. We might actually get some world firsts if this works. In which case, we might get some money for it. So toggle throttle to maximum. SAS on. Zoom out a little bit so we can see what we're doing. Get the fuel gauges up, and in 3, 2, 1. Didn't go wrong this time. Still, I don't know if it's you guys, if it's the same for you guys, but to me that is a little bit noisy still. Okay, so we're just going to cruise up for a little while. This is a relatively, or should be a relatively stable vessel. It's dart shaped, so we should be able to do all right. That was funny though, just seeing the bottom of the rocket just disappear into the distance. Okay. I'm just throttling down a little bit as we're still quite low in the atmosphere and going quite quickly. There we go. I kind of want to start bringing it over, but you know what? I am going to. We're 12 kilometers up. We need to do that now. 14. Speeding up. Full throttle. Side boosters are going to go soon. Here they go. Okay, there was an impact. We did lose one of the smaller engines. I think we're still good. I definitely need to put something on there to help those from having any problems in the future. We're alright. I think we're okay. Okay, that's 82 kilometers there. Let's deploy the first set of solar arrays and antennas. And the second set of solar arrays and antennas. Because why not? Okay. Let's have a look. Where are we? Okay, we're doing alright. Apparently we're still slowing down a little bit, but we were on the edge of space. I'm going to try and bring us now so that we are... Yeah, it's not flying perfectly, unfortunately. But I'm going to try and get us to a nice orbit. So that's one thing that we can improve, folks. The actual separation of those boosters. We want them to peel away, really. So that we don't have this problem of blowing up one of our engines. Messes up our thrust-to-weight ratio. We're probably going to be fine. This will probably work. See, one of the things I didn't think of is that if we wanted to, we could get in orbit of the moon and refuel at the moon's space station now. But this first stage with the wonky bit on the back, we're about to ditch that. We're starting to run low on the fuel, I think. We've got all this fuel in this upper stage here. Actually, we're probably gonna make orbit with the first stage. Let's see. Oh, it's gonna be close. Yeah, we actually did. Okay. Let's have a look. So there's the moon. So we need to do a transfer burn to the moon. So we're just going to time warp until we see the moon rise. There's the moon rise. That's probably a little bit beyond what I would have liked. We're out of fuel, so we're going to stage to separate and then stage to ignite and then full throttle away from the first stage. Oh look! That tiny dot back there? That's Minmus. You may or may not be able to see it. There's Minmus in the background. The moon over and this way. Hopefully we're going to visit both. With this aircraft, or with this rocket. It'll be fine. Now the idea is that if we can get this rocket to work so that we can orbit Kerbin, orbit the moon, land on Minmus, go out of Kerbin's sphere of influence and back again, and land back at Kerbin, we can get an astronaut from level 0 to level 3. So it's a good way of leveling up our astronauts, and once they're leveled up we can get them in those labs which are in the space station and start earning some extra science. Minmus is over here at the minute. I have no idea at all how we're going to do a moon to Minmus transfer. We're just going to wing it. I have no idea what we're going to do. Right then, let's have a look. How we're doing for our moon encounter. Whoa! We just shot through the moon. Okay. It's fine. We can turn this thing around. This has actually got 3 sets of SAS modules. There's an SAS module in this ring. There's an SAS module in here and one in there as well. Or should I say reaction wheels. So I should be able to just... There we go. There we go. So then we walk to... Oh, there, we walk to the moon. We put ourselves in a retrograde position. We burn until we have made an orbit. And then as soon as we've made an orbit, we get the Kerbal gets the experience. I don't know if you have to go round. So what we'll do is we'll do like a walk to here. And then we'll just prograde it. There we go. Looks like ComSat 1 and ComSat 1 and ComSat 2 of the moon have become out of sync again. I don't know why they keep doing that. Right, let's see what we've got here. So we've got a highly elliptical orbit going around Kerbin. What happens? I mean, is there any way I can push that in a different angle? Like fling us out a different way? Let's see. Because I'm guessing we're going to need to try and aim for here. And that's not going to do it where we're at now. No, that doesn't seem to do much. I mean, it might be that we just have to wait for a couple of passes of Minmus to try and... You know what I should really do? I should use a maneuver node. Like, put one in here. And then see what the effects are of me either doing this... Oh, okay, so that's interesting. So I don't think that's going to help. I think we just keep burning. So look, we're going to miss Minmus there. There's no way we're going to get to Minmus straight away. Maybe we need to time our time of launch. Okay, let's go. So we're going to leave the moon and just see what happens. So we leave the moon after visiting. Looks like we're actually going to get a second moon encounter. Don't want that. There we go. Oh, I've had an idea. Right, what if we come here, add a maneuver there, and push... That looks like it's a good idea. I mean, we probably need to bring it up a little. Yeah, okay. Right, so there is a way we can do this that's not too bad. Just need to search for Minmus. Where's Minmus gone? It's really difficult to get a lock on Minmus, isn't it? So, let's bring... I mean, I'm not exactly sure. We've got to get round to that point. I mean, there's a Kerbin escape, which we want after we visited Minmus. Whoa! Didn't mean to do that. This is interesting. Okay, let's get rid of that maneuver node. We've got nearly 2,000 meters per second of delta V as well. I tell you what, let's wait until we get here and see where Minmus is in its orbit. See, it's only there. So by the time we get here, we probably want to be aiming there. Okay, let's add a maneuver here. Try not hit the moon. Push it out as far as the orbit of Minmus. We're going to have to raise it up a little. Okay, that's getting us close. But again, nothing too good on that. I'm wondering if we have to do something similar to an intercept with the moon. Kind of here-ish. I very often forget about the maneuver nodes. This is going to be probably some of them. Oh, there it is! There it is. That will do. Whatever that is, I don't care. We can figure it out as we go. So let's get close to our node. And then it's just a matter of turning our craft around to face the right way. We've still got plenty of fuel. In fact, I think we've over-engineered this, but isn't that how I do everything? Eh? Here we go. I don't think I've ever done a Moon and Minmus journey before. Never have I done that before. Okay, power and everything is looking good. So apparently this is an 18-second burn. And we've got 49 minutes until we get there. So let's just do a little bit of time warping. We can always do a slight adjustment on the way. It's not a problem. As long as we know we're heading roughly in the right direction. I'm feeling relatively confident now that we can do this with a kerbal. Okay, 16 minutes. My goodness, why is this taking so long? We just want to be about 9 seconds away. Thank you very much. Okay. Here we go. So we've got a few seconds left. I will fast forward a little. Right, here we go. 9 seconds to go. There's our burn, and hopefully this burn will take us to Minmus without hitting the moon. Was that it? No. Right, let's have a look at see what sort of bypass this gets us. Oh, it's very high. Okay, we'll have to try and fix that as we come in. We've got so much fuel. Right. Let's try and fix this fly past of Minmus so that it is much more palatable. Because at the minute we're flying over the top of it like nobody's business. Well, that's brought the orbit down. Ideally we want to twist the orbit. Oh, there we go. There we go. I mean, I think that's not far off. We will need to twist it a little bit more just to make sure, because if it's not straight, we can end up on a really weird re-entry of Kerbin, and I don't want to do that. Okay, that looks spot on for that. Now, is it the normal or the anti-normal? I've got a funny feeling it's the same as what we always are. The opposite of whichever one I choose. So here's the normal. Let's see if this makes a difference. Whoa. That lifted it the wrong way. Let's deal with it later. So let's do a little prograde burn. Or should I say retrograde burn? There's an aircraft in space with it just spinning around in loads of random direction. The kerbal inside hasn't got a clue what's going on. It's a good job there's no gravity where they are, because, well, they'd be feeling a bit sick otherwise. Right, so they're heading in towards Minmus here. So we tell the craft to warp there. So we're still in comms reign of Kerbin. I'm not sure if when we leave Kerbin's sphere of influence whether we're going to lose comms range or not. That'd be terrible if we did. Oh, you see, we're actually getting a kick from the orbit there. Okay, let's do a... We're going round to the retrograde anyway, because we're going to try and land. There it is. Oh, wow, we can see all three. There we go. There's the print screen for next week's live stream, eh? Yeah. Just going to make sure I get hold of that. Because I always do those print screens and then forget about them. And then I go and just copy something else random to my clipboard. Okay. So we're going to now just burn retrograde. Get ourselves in orbit. Sort our orbit out. Whoa! Get nice and low over the moon. Minmus is a moon. And then warp here. It's not actually that much of a wobbly orbit. And we've got so much fuel for the landing and stuff. I am going to fix the orbit. So let's just bring... Oh! Not facing the right way there, are we? We need to retrograde burn, please. Look how easy and quick and how little fuel it takes around Minmus. to do that. 20. We've got a 2021 orbit now. Nice. And then we're going to warp to about here. And the good thing about Minmus is the gravity... Oh, I've got to go all the way around. The gravity is so low that it's just so easy. It really is. He says, having to get it right. Let's find... Have we got access... So there's no comsats here. So I think if we've got to be careful about which part of Minmus we land on. We might even have to do it in the dark. Yeah, we'll see. We've just got to be careful. Right then, let's get to the node before we lose contact with Kerbin. Okay. Yep, that's the right way of doing it. I mean, if anything, that was pretty much spot on, I think. Right, never mind. Okay, so what I'm going to do is that I think we're about to lose control of this craft. We seem to be able to do it through the glaciers of Minmus a little bit. So what we'll do is we'll warp here. Oh, we actually used the moon momentarily. From one of our moon bases. Okay, so we're going to warp until we get full control again. So we're not too far off. And then we'll do our landing. Ditch the second stage. So let's just go full retrograde on this now. Yeah, it'll do. And hopefully we can actually land this without too much of a problem. So we are 13 kilometers up. Oh yeah. I mean, I think I would prefer a landing spot. Let's get this right. Whoa, not spinning round, please. There we go. I could prefer a landing spot a little bit more this way. There we go. According to the map, that skewed us quite nicely. You know what? I don't know why I sorted the orbit out, because once we've landed, it doesn't matter. Brandon lost his internet. So far, so good. We've got way too much fuel on the second stage, but that's good, because I'd rather have too much fuel than not enough. Then we've just got to land this. So I'm just going to... Yeah, the gravity on here is so small, and the engine's so fast that... Like, I think you could probably start slowing down with 2 kilometers left to go. So what we'll do now is deploy the landing legs. We'll bring this engine into the same stage. We'll try and get things relatively straight. Slow ourselves down. I going to leave it just dropping a little bit because, well, it makes sense. Can we see Kerbin or anything from here? There's the sun. Oh, there we go. Kerbin and the moon. Nice. There's our shadow. Unfortunately, I can't time speed this. So now we are under 2 kilometers. I'm going to slow us to 30 meters per second. Oh yeah, this is a bit too easy compared to the moon. Once we're under probably 500 meters, then we'll switch to the 3rd stage. So we're coming up to 1,000, and when we get to 1,000, I'm going to slow us down to 20 meters per second, roughly. And now I'm going to engines off and stage. Make sure we're controlling the right one. Set us to retrograde. There we go. We're going straight down quite quickly, but we can slow ourselves down quite quickly as well. There goes the 2nd stage, flipping over the surface. Hopefully we don't land on it. Bits flying all over the place, to be fair. See, it didn't even smash to pieces. And we've landed on Minmus. No problem, with 3,000 meters per second of delta V left. That is insane. I mean, there's bits of solar panel all over Minmus now. So then this is where our kerbal would get out. It would plant a flag. Then we need to plan our trip home. So to go home, we need to go this way round. So we need to go almost directly to our right. So without any power. Yeah, okay. So first of all, we do a takeoff maneuver. Then we rotate a little. No, is it this way? And then, yep, there we go. What's our when we're going to about 15 kilometers high, then we just burn sideways until we get orbit. Which we can do at full throttle now. Come on. Oh dear, this isn't good. What's going on? I've gone past orbit. Oh, nuts. Oh, we've got a Kerbin escape. Yes, that's what we want. So let's... We don't want a massive Kerbin escape, so let's bring it back a little bit. Right. So we want a Kerbin escape. So we go orbit Kerbin, orbit moon, land Minmus, Kerbin escape, get home. So there's our Kerbin escape. So we leave Minmus behind. We leave Kerbin and the moon behind. 25 days. It's a long trip, this. It's going okay so far. I feel like we could take 2 kerbals at the same time and it'd be more worth it. So maybe we should... the thing is, if I adjust this, then it's going to have a different ratio. Although having said that, like I said, we've got loads of fuel. Loads and loads of fuel. So we're just about to exit the Kerbin system. We've got bits of things flying around Kerbin really quickly. And here we go. We're about to slow down. Don't want to warp too fast past this. We're about to get into a sun orbit. Here we go. And sun orbit. Then we need to actually get back again. Wow, look at that for a sun orbit. So presumably... Oh, how do we get back again? Do I just retrograde for a bit? Okay, let's try that. Yeah, that's right. We send our kerbals to the sun. Well, what was that? Was that a Kerbin encounter? Oh, what's this? Yeah, it is a Kerbin encounter. It looks really odd though. Is that on the next loop round? Oh my goodness, it is. What can I do? Your problem is funds. Do the missions. Do them efficiently. That's pretty much all I can say on the fun sides of things. I'm not really sure, actually. Can I just burn, like, loads of my Delta V? I think I can. Okay, let's just do a big retrograde burn and see what happens. No, not warping. Add maneuver. Retrograde. Kerbin encounter in 1 hour and 8 minutes. Yes, that's what we want. Okay. So, burn. I should have looked at how much that was. It's about a 9-second burn. There we go. So we do just go retrograde on this. So Kerbin encounter. So now in theory, if I fast, we lost the encounter. Was that not enough? No, not... I don't want to... I want Kerbin as the... Where's Kerbin? Focus Kerbin. Focus back on our thingy. Right. What's going on? Oh, we have got a Kerbin encounter. Okay, warp here. It's like it doesn't calculate it as it's doing it. Yeah, there we go, look. Fantastic. So now... Wow, look at that orbit. That is a crazy orbit. What's the periapsis? Looks like it's inside the planet. Brilliant. It's all right. We'll just do a prograde burn. Oh, that fixed everything. We've got a periapsis there. My goodness, there's so many different things. Let's focus on Kerbin. No, that's the moon. There we go. The periapsis. Retrograde. Bring it in so it's just within the atmosphere, so if we run out of fuel, it's not a problem. 90, 80, 60 something. Brilliant. Then we warp here. My goodness, it's wobbly as anything. Wow, look how long this is taking. "13 days. Oh, this is making my eyes go funny. Doesn't feel too bad when you're not wobbling around a planet. So the entire mission is going to take about 50 days. I really think I should be taking 2 kerbals at once. Right, here we go. It's going to slow down now. And then this is where we do a massive retrograde burn. We're already set on retrograde. Oh, look at this. Oh, this mission couldn't have gone too much more perfectly. I mean, we've ended up in quite a weird elliptical orbit of Kerbin. But we've got so much fuel. We definitely need to change this craft. You hope they have enough oxygen. I'm pretty sure in KSP they have like an unlimited oxygen supply, and that's just how it works. And we've probably got enough fuel to try and level out our orbit. So, and then we need to test the re-entry system. No, we're not level. We're going to try and level up someone, but the chat said do a practice run. Do a practice run without anybody inside it, they said. You'll mess it up, they said. It's probably a good job, because the first time I launched the rocket, it automatically did the abort system, which is not good. Let's see. Yeah, we're almost certainly coming into land. I think the landing legs might explode, but apart from that, we're doing all right. I feel like we need to raise. Oh, this is a harsh re-entry. I'm going to get rid of the second stage now, and hopefully everything will be alright. Oh, sorry, the third stage. We've got whoa, that's just the camera. That's just the camera. The monopropellant. We're carrying monopropellant, which we don't need to do. Real fella always had faith, and Brandon said practice is good. Maybe. So the ablator should be doing its work now. We are coming in a bit steep. I shouldn't have gone for 60,000. I should have only just skimmed the top of the atmosphere, because we had plenty of fuel left. Although we don't seem to be having any sort of major overheating of other components. There's stuff blowing up in the atmosphere as the Buzzard 5 Adventure Craft third stage explodes. But we're doing okay. Look, the third stage is starting to overtake us. It's probably very much on fire. Yep, it's very much on fire. There's bits falling off that stage and everything. And we've got a world first milestone. Escape the gravitational influence of the sun. We came back to Kerbin, so we got some money for that. Just demonstrating our capability. So in theory, all we've got to do is deploy chutes at the right time. We're slowing down quite a lot now. 2 Gs. Two and a half G. Well, okay. So that's not too bad. We could drop drogue chutes now, but it would take us too long to land, so I'm not going to. The third stage is still bouncing around in the atmosphere. Where are we? What is that? No. Are we right next to... Thought we were right next to the space centre then. But we're not, are we? We're probably near the South Pole or something. We're actually getting very much back to Kansas now. Right. Still very high up. So it looks like our terminal velocity is 270 meters per second-ish. Oh, we are starting to slow down a bit more now. Okay, shoots. Oh, that was a bit harsh. We hit 15 Gs of deceleration there when those shoots came out. That's very harsh, actually. Main chute. And that gives us a splashdown speed of around just over 6 meters per second. So I'm quite happy with that. I don't know if there are risks with higher G-forces, but there we are, the capsule's back and we're safe and sound. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a slight conversion. We're going to allow to have a couple of kerbals on there, and we will finish the stream with part of that. I think that was a very successful test, and we got nearly half the money back. So the only things I would change... We need to have separatrons or something on these boosters to try and get them to fly off properly. And this capsule we want to change out. change it for a better one. And in this case, better means bigger. And because we're doing a bigger one, we'll get bigger chutes as well. Chutes, parachutes. There we go. Just make sure that the staging of those chutes are in the right order. And this sort of shape here is no good. So we need a bigger... Where's it gone? Heat, a bigger thermal re-entry, which is fine. Do we have like an adapter for that? Nope. Yes, we do. So we do upside down adapter. And the slightly bigger coupling. Now we just need a bigger service bay. Nope, that's not the right size. And this is going to add slightly more mass. Is it payload? Structural? Put it inside a structural tube instead. Structural tube. What did I just get rid of? Is that the battery? What's the battery look like? No, that's the reaction control wheels. We need batteries. How many? Four. Right, okay. There we go. Oh, I like that. Why did you never realise you can flip those adapters? I don't know. I think it works quite well. So what we're going to do is we're going to save this, and we're also going to try and get... Hang on, we've got some stuff to unlock, haven't we? I forgot about that. We'll get that sorted first. So in the research centre, we've actually managed to accumulate some science from all the different activities we've been doing, and there's enough to unlock actuators, which will give us the grabbing unit. And having the grabbing unit will let me... Now what is it again? It lets you get a proper tug vessel, so you can grab anything, pull it off the space station, move it round, and attach it however you need to. Definitely need that. I'm just thinking I really want a Separatron, but we definitely need that, so we'll research it. Okay, let's carry on. So we need a way to get these boosters to detach better, and I think the best way for us to do that was with a couple of little tiny basic fins on the side with the tiniest amount of rotation, just to give them some direction. And hopefully that will fix our separation issue. What's our thrust to weight ratio like? 1.0. Oh, that's perfect. Right, we're going to do a test with this, but we're not going to use the lower section of the craft. So what I will do is we will save and launch. I want to test the capsule and re-entry of that capsule. We're not going to do on a full flight or anything like that. what we're just going to do is we are going to get this separation and engine. If I can get the camera right. This separation and this engine before anything else. There we go. So I've brought them down. In theory, the top should just blow off. Okay, now there's nobody on board once again, so we're just going to test this in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yep, that's working. I mean, it's going to explode everything. And then in theory, we separate the top and deploy the chutes. I mean, that just didn't work. Okay, let's recover the vessel. You're only supposed to blow the blooming top off. Yeah, I think what we need to do is I need to like change the way it's working a little bit. So we do a right click. Is there a control from here? Just like that bit is where we're controlling everything from. Then we can just pull the bottom of the rocket off, put it on a separation with a booster, and just test kind of like the re-entry of all this. See, it's only going to cost 11 grand to test that now. And I'd hate to do the full test round the planets and all that sort of thing, then change something, take some kerbals, and it all go horribly wrong. So SAS on and launch. Okay. So the idea of this is just to kind of test the re-entry sort of speeds, mechanisms, the parachutes. So what should happen here is we should separate from the booster. Our engine should ignite. We separate from the third stage and then land. Getting ready to separate. And engine light. We're actually going to make like space with this. No, never. Okay, and then we can say, right, the engine's ran out of fuel. We separate from the second stage. Point ourselves retrograde. And as we're coming in, we're actually going to probably reach roughly the same sorts of terminal velocities. So there's 2 kilometers up, shoots. Yep, that worked no problem. Quite a few G-forces, but it's alright there. And secondary. Can you do like macros with the staging? So decouple, then automatically fire up the engine. You can just put them on the same stage, real fella. Oh, we're coming down at 5.8 meters per second. So that's going to be fine. It's a nice little pod. On the inside it's got all the command and control. What's this here? There's got the reaction wheels. What's this? World first? Oh! Oh, we also returned from the surface of Minmus. Returned from an orbit of Minmus. Did a flyby. Oh, we got so much money from that test. Oh my goodness. And we did a contract parameter? Yeah, we got to rendezvous 2 vessels in orbit of Minmus at some point soon. So we've actually achieved things by testing today. Nicely. So we know that that works. We just need to check the staging. if you go straight back into the vehicle assembly building without doing anything else, the last vehicle you was working on is still there. So we can actually open up the Buzzard 5 plus Adventure Craft 1. And we've just got to check. Look, we've got the separations mixed up here. So this is the final separation that happens before shoots. This separation and this engine wants to happen at the same time, so they're on the same stage. Second stage light up, second stage separation, booster separation. Yeah, I'm happy with all of that. Okay. There we go. So this is all done. We're ready to put kerbals on this. But before we do, we're going to sort out that tug. So where is it? Lander, Eagle. Where is it? What's it called? The Cuckoo. Here's the Cuckoo. So the Cuckoo is a special vessel designed for pulling around other parts of the space station and reorientating and things like that. So we're going to take the docking node off the top there, and we're going to put a grabbing unit on there. And the grabbing unit, where's the flag? There's the grabbing unit. Yes, we're going with more bird names. So if I arm the grabbing unit, can I actually attach... I can't attach the RCS to that. Fair enough. We'll go with 4... No, we won't go with 4 docking ports. That's a bit excessive. I think 2 docking ports is fine. It's got its solar panels. The only thing I can think of is that maybe we give it more RCS. And looking at the fuel tanks, we don't actually have like proper tanks for RCS yet. From monoprop. So I think the only way to do it is to actually add more tanks. Now, how much monopropellant are we packing here now? Does it say? Quite a lot. It doesn't outright say actually. But what we can do is we can do monopropellant storage. Oh, the black. Oh, black grabber, brilliant. I like that. Now, what can we have the core stage look like then? Just white. Oh, I like the orange and black segments. What have I got in that structural tube? It's nothing, is it? The only reason I've got a structural tube on there was to make enough room for the monopropellants. So if we move these docking adapters down, I can put the RCS ports here, get rid of that tube that I don't need, and there we go. That's better. Just don't know what happens to these ports if we open the bay door. I mean, it doesn't have to be a service bay. We can put... Yeah, we can just put it in like a structural tube. Which is probably better, actually. Because then we can add that on there. Oh, look at this. This is so much better. Now, I'm actually thinking about giving it the larger... Oh, that's way too big. No, this one's fine. We don't want it massive, do we? Okay, that's looking good, actually. Let's get some power on it. See, at this stage, because of how many we've got on it, even the small ones are good enough in terms of power, I think. Oh, that is much better. And actually, what we can do is move the solar arrays to here, and that gives us room for more monopropellant. There we go. Because this thing, if it needs anything, it's more monopropellant. Definitely needs more monopropellant. And having said that, we are just starting to smash into the RCS thrusters now. Oh, I set them at the wrong amount. There we go. That one's too high, otherwise it's going to get in the way of the docking port. I think that one's about right. There we go. I guess we could afford to actually have them all move down just a touch. That's what the monopropellant tycoons want you to believe. Of course. They always want you to have more monoprop. Okay, so we've got our monoprop, we've got our fuel, we've got our solar panels, we've got our connecting bits, we've got a grabber. This is the proper Cuckoo. But now we need to get a Cuckoo to the nest. So we need to find a rocket to fire it up on. Should we take a couple of components at once? Seems like a good idea to me. I would love to make some solar arrays, but I don't think we have the ability to do that yet. Like big ones. We'd certainly, or at least I don't think we have enough science to unlock them, surely? Nope. Yeah, it's this section of stuff here. No, we need 300 and we've only got 68. So that's no good. I was hoping we'd be able to do some of these large photovoltaic panels. So we won't take that up with us. What else could we take up to the space station while we're working on it, apart from fuel? I suppose monopropellant storage? Then again, we haven't got the monopropellant tanks yet, the proper ones. So we won't have that. Oh, this thing needs lights. Has to have lights. Silly me. If it doesn't have lights, we can't see what we're grabbing and that, can we? There we go. Is it night time? Let's go and launch it and see if it's night time. There we go. What is night time? Lights. So there we go. SAS on, RCS on. Can I just get it to like fall over by... Oh my goodness. There we go. So the lights do a fantastic job, as you can see. Bourbon Bro says, hey, just wanted to let you know that your OpenTTD tutorials are really helpful. Thanks. Well, you're welcome. I'm glad you found them helpful. It's exactly why I put them there. I've got a few more ideas for some improvements in the future, but I'm glad you're liking them as they are. Arm the Grabber. I love that. Brilliant. How much RCS have we got? Monopropellant 800. Okay, so we've almost got more monopropellant than fuel. But that's fine. What can we do? What can we take up to the space station? Should we design or add a new module? Or just take it up as is? I wonder if we put it on top of an Eagle 3? Eagle 1 transport, Eagle 3. I mean, to me, that's excessive. You can get to the moon with an Eagle 1 if you add extra boosters. And I tell you what, if we get rid of the second stage... No, wait, we don't want to get rid of the second stage. That's the thing that controls it. Oh, hang on. If I get rid of the second stage, I can change it and add the Cuckoo on. There we go. So the Cuckoo is the second stage, and because the Cuckoo is relatively heavy, we're going to upgrade the Eagle 1 to have 4 solids. I reckon that'll get the Cuckoo to the space station. Should we... How explosive is it? I don't know how explosive it is, but this is going to cost us 30 grand to get a Cuckoo there. So let's do it. Remember, the Cuckoo, the only idea of a Cuckoo is to move things around at the space station, to maneuver parts, do maintenance, all that sort of stuff. Ideally we could do with a Cuckoo at the moon, but we'll have to cross that bridge when we come to it. So we're going to fly this one not in the daytime or the night, but we're going to fly it when the space station's about to come round at just the opportune moment. So let's fast forward a little bit. There's the space station here, and we're going to try and get straight to it. Right, that'll do. Okay, here we go. Fuel systems on screen. Screen aligned. Eagle 1 with Cuckoo second stage. SAS on. Throttle to max. Cuckoo center engine moved. And launch. Nice clean launch. Rear fail's got to go. Well, thank you very much for coming by, Real Fella. We'll see you soon. Oh, we'll do a game giveaway in a second. I meant to do a game giveaway earlier, and I forgot. But I will definitely do it before the end of the stream. What we'll do is we'll get the Cuckoo up there, and then we'll do our game giveaway. Right, here we go. We're just about to lose the solid boosters. Those usually separate quite well because of the ejection force. Brandon, in theory you could enter on Twitch. You only have to be in the chat. You don't have to be on the screen, do you? Right, let's see how we're getting on. Not great. I'm going to be honest. Also, we're going off course, which normally I wouldn't be worried about a little bit, but we're actually trying to make it to the space station. So we kind of need to be on target. Oh, I think the Cuckoo's too heavy. Yeah, the Eagle 1 is really struggling here. I mean, we've got plenty of fuel. Maybe if we launched it with like hard... Oh, look at that. That's a shame. That is a massive, massive fail. Okay. Let's see if we can repulsively land this. Well, the solar panels fell off. Turning the RCS on to try and get us to go round. It's not working. Maybe with a bit of engine, fins and RCS. No. Maybe. It looks like it's starting to pull up. Come on. 2 kilometers to go. You know what? It's pulling up. Oh, 1.5 kilometers to go. It's not going to be enough. Oh. Goodbye. Okay. That might have been a pretty big fail. Very much so. So we'll tell you what, we'll do the giveaway now. We'll start it, and then we'll put it on an Eagle 3 instead. We'll put it on an Eagle 3 instead. Yep. I usually do unmanned unless there's some reason to not. So let's go open the Eagle 3. Remove, hang on, reroute to here. Take off the second stage and add the Cuckoo. There we go. So everything blasts off. We separate the side boosters. We separate those ones, and then we're good for that. Right. Okay. We'll try that again. Let's go to my bot, and belly landings are fun to watch. I was hoping I could actually get that to start flying sideways, using the fins at the back, the RCS, and the vector. So let's have a look at what game I've got to give away. So, oh, that's weird. My game code screen is no longer filtered. Okay, weird, but I fixed it. So, oh, this is a good one. It looks like I've got a code for Stellaris here, so we'll do a giveaway for that. Definitely do a giveaway for Stellaris. So giveaways. And we'll go to custom giveaway, game giveaway, Remember, you can enter the game giveaway if you are watching on YouTube or Twitch. If you are watching on Twitch, you should be able to collect your prize in the chat. If you are watching on YouTube, then you would need to come over to the Discord server to claim your prize, and you must do so promptly. Okay, save that and start the giveaway. Let's see if that worked. Should do. There we go. So you can all enter the raffle to be part of that giveaway. And now we'll try and get the cuckoo up to its nest again, but this time we're sending it on an Eagle 3 instead of an Eagle. It's basically a lot better. Much more oomph. Okay. Once again, we're going to wait until the space station is in an optimal place. Or I should say a more optimal place. Some debris going around from our tests earlier. And that should do it. It just so happens to be daytime. SAS is on. Throttle to maximum. Side job is... Yep. Okay, that all looks good. Let's launch this. In 3, 2, 1. Missed the button to begin with. But it's okay. We're climbing pretty good. So once we've got the Cuckoo up there, there's another rocket. There's another ship that I want to send, but it's actually something to the lunar station. So I designed, and I'll show you this. Basically, I was bored in one of my lunch breaks. And I designed something that should be able to leave the lunar space station, go down to the lunar surface with 2 kerbals inside and with science equipment, and then come back up to the space station again. That's the idea. And just refuel at the space station and just keep going up and down. So anybody needing to go to the moon's surface will come in a transport ship, transfer to the lander, get in the lander, come down and back up again. Okay, here we go. Whoa! Well, that wasn't good. I mean, I think we'll still be okay. Try and get everything to go prograde. And we're off again. Not 100% sure what happened there. But I'm going to stability assist it. Twist it round. Which way is it pointing? That's the wrong way completely. Oh my goodness. I just realised how badly that was. Well, we're 21k up. We've got plenty of fuel for now. But that is a little bit... That's a little bit ridiculous, that. I think with that mistake, we're going to have a problem to get to the space station, but let's see. Normally we're nearly in orbit by the time we get rid of them. Oh, this is ridiculous. It's just so heavy. I didn't really expect it to go that wrong. I mean, that interesting. Hellishstore.net. Although it is starting to push. So, I don't know. We might be able to make orbit. Certainly got enough fuel. Oh, no, 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 no. Not right over. Not right over. Come on. I don't even know how high we are in the atmosphere. We're only 34 kilometers up. I don't think this is going to work. No, we're getting atmospheric drag and everything. Right. Let's see what we can do. Might even be able to land it. It's not looking good, folks. I'm not sure what happened with that Eagle 3 launch. I'm pretty sure that it should have been fine. What? Oh, we've got bits of the craft smashed down, haven't we? Let's terminate that. Terminate that. Right. I'm gonna try exactly the same thing again, hoping for a different outcome. I'm pretty sure I heard at some point that that's the definition of insanity. But I don't know. It just seemed like when I detached something, it all just went horribly wrong. So try again. Maybe the Eagle 3 has got some inherent faults in it. We need like things like separatrons and stuff like that. Okay, so once again, waiting until the space station is in a relatively good position. And then this time, SAS on, throttle to max. I'm just going to let it go up. I'm not going to do anything. Not even going to look. No, wait, I need to look. It could be the fact that the Cuckoo, the tug vessel that I've put on the top of this, it's just so not aerodynamic in the slightest that we could end up with some problems. But never mind. We're just going to go up as fast and as quick as we can. I didn't touch it. I did not touch it. It just went. We're going to land this one. Right, the raffle has finished. Let's pick our winner. And the winner is Wizard Brandon. Congratulations. You have won Stellaris. You beat the odds there, Brandon, quite a lot. It was 12 to 1 of you winning that. So congratulations. This time we're landing with all 3 engines, or attempting to land with all 3. I don't think we're going to manage it again. Oh no. We're heavier, aren't we? Well, actually... no. A piece survived. Oh no. Right. Oh my goodness, there's so much debris from that. Recover the debris. Okay, we'll do debris. I'll do debris stuff later. I've got a feeling we need to put it in a fairing. So we're going to put it in a fairing. Fairing, fairing, payload fairing. Small one. That's all we need. Build the fairing. There we go. Let's see if it being in a fairing fixes everything. I've got a funny feeling this will, but that's just a hunch based on experience. It's by no means any source of science. Okay, so SAS on throttle to maximum. We've got to be careful when we stage the fairing. I think it's going to be... wow, this is... No, that messed everything up. So the side stagings... The fairing wants to be after that. Side, yep. Fairing, yep. Okay, cool. Now it's correct. Right, let's try again. In 3, 2, 1, up it goes. And once again, I'm not going to touch it. And I've got a feeling that this one will fly much better. Shove everything in a fairing. That's what we have to do. Let's have a look. What we got here? Wizard Brandon is happy that you won the giveaway. Yeah, because you're verified on Discord, Brandon, I'll just send you it on there, so don't worry too much about that. Oh, Jackamak did the announcement of me going live because for some reason we didn't get the standard announcement. Right, I think it's roughly here where it's gone wrong in the past. And for now, it's looking much better at the moment. So we will separate the solid boosters and then turn. Clean separation. Gentle turn initiated. I forgot to wait for the space station to come. We've missed the space station, but never mind. I'll figure out a way to catch up with it. So we're just going to burn sideways. Burning sideways works for most things. So the next thing we're going to do is release the side boosters and then deploy the fairing. There we go. Fairing. The fairing fixed it. So now we just need to boost sideways and keep boosting sideways with a fuel tank full of fuel, and hopefully that'll do the job. And we'll get in orbit and we'll be able to put this this Cuckoo in with the space. We've got to get one of these to the moon yet. Do we need a Cuckoo at the moon? Maybe. Maybe we should take the Cuckoo and the moon landing module together on the bigger ship. I think that'd be a good idea. But at the moment, still burning sideways. Remember, the Cuckoo itself is also full of fuel and does have an engine. Although we should probably extend the solar panels now. We won't turn the lights on just yet. Oh, well, we can flash the lights. Ta-da! And yeah, we're going to have to try and catch up with the space station. So we'll set it as a target. It's not working yet. We got these two intersects here, but it's like you're never going to reach it, mate. So let's walk to a little bit closer around the orbit to try and full throttle everything. I think we're not far off making orbit. So we're definitely going to get it into orbit. It's just a matter of how easy it's going to be to get it to the space station. Okay. Because we did miss the space station by quite a lot because we crashed the first 3 ships. It's fine. Nobody was on board. Okay, so we're nearly in orbit. There is orbit. And we're actually pushing ourselves out a little bit too much. Now the only problem with having this connected to the first stage is it takes a long time to turn around. I could turn the RCS on, but I really want to just keep all the RCS where if I don't need to get rid of it, I'm not going to. So that periapsis, I suppose if we just warp round to there, we should be able to just do a retrograde burn, which will get a pretty close intercept, I think. What do we... yeah. I kind of just want to get to the space station in one go. Well, that periapsis is in atmosphere now, so that's not going to work. It would take quite a few orbits for us to catch up with the space station at this rate. So what do you guys think to letting the space station catch up with us? That would probably take less orbits. I don't know how many, but let's go around once. We are approximately, I would say, a little bit behind. So if we walk round once and get even further behind and just do that a couple of times. But this isn't the way I'd want to do it. Normally you want to come up in front of it and then just let it catch up. So we kind of doubled the gap there that we've got. I feel like I can push that out more. We've got the fuel to do it. So walk round again. Now it's not too far behind. I feel like if I walk round again I'm going to miss it. So we'll just reduce that orbit a little bit, and then we'll do one more. It'll work. They'll probably. I can sometimes do rocket science. Yeah, I'm mixing my words up now. Okay, so let's bring that descending node down. There we go. Because I don't want to overshoot this. Right, let's walk round, see how much the space station catches up with us this time. Space station's taking the inside track here. It's only halfway around its orbit now, but it's still catching up with us. Absolutely lovely. Okay, so it's still got a bit of catching up to do. But not that much. So I think there. That should do it. This time round, I think the space station should catch up with us just enough so that we can attempt to dock to it. And then we've got a grabber craft. Or is it going to get ahead of us? Nope. That was pretty much perfect. So it is 16 kilometers in that direction. Our closest approach is apparently 18. There it is, over there. Right. We'll turn this thing round. We are on the dark side, but this is Kerbin, so it doesn't matter too much. We're not going to lose control of our probe. Because essentially that's what it is. It's got a probe core in there. So we're just going to null out our relative velocity difference. And then we'll fly towards it. So this is going to use up all the fuel in that first stage. Oops, I think I went past it. I did. It wasn't going to use up all of the fuel. I was a little bit trigger happy then. I need to be a little bit more careful. Only by a small amount though. It's difficult to say exactly how much, but only by a small amount. We'll stage in a moment and we'll start using the actual Cuckoo itself to fly to the nest. Right, let's stage. I've had enough of swinging this thing around very slowly. Now let's... where's the target? There's the target. Let's turn the SAS on. And we're going to... This thing just turns around so much better. There we go. We're going to throttle ourselves towards the space station. It doesn't matter if we use a lot of fuel because the space station has fuel there to reload. So, like 100 meters per second is going to be fine for us right now. Although apparently that did drop our periapsis down quite a lot. It's okay, we're quite high in the sky. So we're only 4 kilometers away from the target now. And once we're within 4 kilometers, then it gets relatively easy. I'm expecting docking not to be too difficult as well. We could technically just use the grabber rather than docking. Should we use the grabber? What do you guys think in the chat? Should we use the grabber to hold on to the space station rather than actually taking up a docking port? Kind of like that idea. We have got enough docking ports though. There are plenty of docking ports. Okay, so let's just speed up time a little bit. Carefully. We don't want to overshoot by too much. That is about right. Space station is definitely not far away now. I can just see, in fact, if we switch to it and turn all the lights on. Is that all of the lights? Oh, great. Oh well, never mind. Okay, fair enough. Let's go in towards the space station. We're in the dark though. Don't really like doing this sort of thing in the dark normally. Also, we're coming in quite quick now. 7 meters per second towards the space station. There we go. So it did take a bit of wiggling around, but we are here. We've arrived. So there's the old one, the old tug, so we could just put it there, swap them over. Or we could put it on the other side, and then, I mean, we're still full of monopropellant. Tell you what, let's get rid of the old tug. Let's switch to the space station. Undock this. Go into docking mode. Turn RCS on. Get it to float away. We can turn our lights on. Oh, yeah, this has got docking ports. Why have you never thought of using a joystick? It's good. I'm not exactly sure which way round we're going to attach this. Maybe I should go and put it... Oh well, let's just do it. Let's just do it. So, RCS time. And with the RCS we don't use the joystick because I don't think it's properly set up. So there we go, we can see what we're doing now. A little bit better. I'm going to just bring in the solar panels, because I don't want them to smash into anything. There we go. Give our engine a little nudge. There's this docking port here, and this deck, that's our target docking port. We're going to put the tug on the bottom. Oh, we did just knock into it slightly. Quick! SAS on! Space Station SAS. Okay. Docking mode now. That's all the node we're going for there. Okay, I'm just going to slightly reorientate us a little bit. I'm going to do the same with the space station actually. The space station is a little bit... It has got reaction wheels, so it can reorientate itself, look. And we are actually just starting to get into the sunrise, which helps the situation a little bit. Right, so in theory, if I go into docking mode, but the only problem is you can't view this from like 2 different angles at once. There we go, it's almost a perfect dock. Look at that, look at that. So now the tug is neatly tucked under the space station, ready to do its job. Fantastic. Just check its engine is disabled. Good. Now this one's useless. So let's reorbit. Let's enter orbit. Deorbit, I should say. I wonder how much of it will survive. So this is the one that basically is a bit more rubbish than the other one. This is like the Mark 1 version, or the prototype. I sent it up there to fix something. I just about managed to fix it, but to be honest, it was terrible. Okay, here we go then. We're going to deorbit this. We're going to see how much of it survives, just for fun. The only thing we're going to do probably is turn the engine on at some point. See if we can actually get it to slow down. If it doesn't explode in the atmosphere. So here we go. We're just starting to touch the atmosphere. And once we've... just a reminder, there's no kerbals on board with this. So there's no chance of any more kerbal deaths. We've had enough of them. We have. And for the most part, actually at the moment, this is surviving quite well. And as soon as it starts decelerating below like 500 meters per second, I'll full throttle that engine. We'll see if we can actually get this to land. I doubt it, but let's try anyway. I don't even think that this engine is powerful enough to actually carry the weight of this rocket. Mr. Tomato. So was this just a station refuel rocket test? No, the vessel that we connected to the space station. Yeah, look, it can't do anything. I mean, even if we do RCS and full splosh. Basically, the one I just splashed into the planet was no good because it didn't have a grabber on it and it didn't have lights on it. So I made a good one, sent the good one up there, and brought the bad one down. So, tracking station. So it wasn't a test. There is actually a rocket up there now. We can refuel it, which we will do actually. So let's go to the Kerbin space station, which has now got... Let's just remind ourselves what modules we've got on there. So we've got the habitation modules, the command module, the science modules, the fueling modules, and now the new and improved tug. So in theory, we should be able to use our fueling station to fill up the tug. There we go. Perfect. So if we ever do any rearranging of parts of the space station, if we want to put something in a different place, or if we want to add new modules, we can easily do it with the tug. Or, and here's another or, if we ever want to dock anything to the space station that hasn't got a docking port, the tug can grab hold of it and bring it over to the station. I kind of feel like the tug should be on the other end of the command module, but I'm quite happy with it tucked away down there. Let's turn the SAS off, turn the lights off. Nobody's home, and we'll leave that going. Right then. So we've designed and tested a vessel for taking kerbals around on a trip which should get them to level 3. We've designed or upgraded our tug up to the space station and sent one up to the space station. Took a few attempts because I didn't put it in a fairing, and I should have done. It was just the aerodynamics was terrible. The other thing I wanted to do was take a tug and the moon lander to the moon station, but I think maybe we'll do that at the beginning of next time. Where's my lander? Is that my lander? Let's have a look. Eagle 3 with moon lander. No, that's the old moon lander. So this is my moon lander at the moment. It's got a docking port on the bottom. It's got fuel. It's got RCS. It's got all the science. In theory, you should be able to easily get down to the lunar surface and back again with this. So like I said, I built this on one of my lunch breaks, and sometimes if I do things between episodes, I'll stream it on my Viewer Plus Discord. So if you're not Viewer Plus, it's one of the advantages of being Viewer Plus because you get access to that private Discord. So it's cheaper than a Twitch sub, supports me directly with no middleman like you get with Patreon, and your payments are handled securely via PayPal. So I host the service myself on my website. So go to masterhellish.net for more about Viewer Plus if you want to support the channel. So here it is, and essentially it is just a little lander that can go to the space station and back, and the ladders meet up beautifully for kerbals, 2 kerbals, to be able to get out of there, come down, do any science that they need to. There's a few different science experiments. There's a boom that can be extended. Maybe I'll change the angle of the boom. And we've got even more science experiments in the service bay. It's all good stuff. So yeah, there you go. Bit of lighting for landing as well. So that is something that we need to take to the moon. What we might do is we might send it on one of the bigger rockets and take a load of fuel with us at the same time, because I'm pretty sure the space station at the moon hasn't got a lot of fuel. So let's have a quick look at that now. So moon space station, fly. So this is it. It'll look very familiar because I've used the same design. Okay, the only difference with this one, what's the difference with this one? There's no tug on it, obviously. I think that's it. I think that's the only difference, is there's no tug vessel. Not 100% sure. I feel like the crew quarters are in a different place. I don't think that's really true. So yes, we how much fuel have we got? So that's full, that's full, that's full, that's not. Okay. So we're somewhere around just over half full of fuel actually at the moment, which is really good. I'm surprised at that. I thought I had less in there. Well, we won't take the lander today. We'll take the lander and a load of fuel. I might even get the lander and the fuel over to the moon between streams, and then we'll dock it up at the beginning of next time. But I think it's time to use the vessel that we designed and tested at the beginning of the stream and send our first 2 kerbals, hopefully, to level 3. So it's the Buzzard 5 and the Adventure Craft. There we go. I really like it. It should work quite nicely. Staging looks good. We've got our fins and the capsule on it. We need to choose our crew. So to begin with, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send 2 of my scientists, because what I want is I want a scientist in the science lab going around the moon and a scientist in the Kerbal lab going around Kerbin, so we can process loads of science and unlock loads of things. This is what we've been building towards. The building of these space stations, the labs around the planets, the refueling them, the tugs and everything is all just so that we can have these space stations where we can process science so we can unlock more things. So we're going to get 2 of our scientists, J-Bay and Network 17, and then that means Wizard Brandon can be our specialist. Brandon can go off and do like the odd, rare and weird missions. J-Bay and Network 17 can be our 2 scientists that work within the space stations. So let's launch them. Here we go. So because we're not rendezvousing with something in space, we're just going to warp to sunrise so that we can have solar panels on the journey doing the job that they need. Worst case scenario, I don't know if these scientists can actually take control of this, but let's find out. Throttle to maximum, SAS on, and here they go on their magnificent, probably around 50-day journey. In 3, 2, 1. There we go. There's a clean launch for J-Bay and Network 17. So this vessel, apart from the landing legs on the 3rd stage, is quite aerodynamic. There is a small bit on the top of the capsule which is relatively flat, but in the event of an abort we should be able to bring the capsule down safely. Okay, I'm just powering down the main engines a little bit. Otherwise we're going to get a lot of atmospheric drag in the lower atmosphere. We don't really want that. I'm not powering them off completely though because they're gimbaled. If I see any signs that that rocket is veering off course, I will throttle up right away. Looks like we're doing okay though. Let's get the stick on the screen. We'll actually get some heating here, but that's okay. Here we go. We're throttling up and get ready to release. Yeah, that's much better. Those little tiny fins, look, making them fall away beautifully. Right, it's time to turn this thing on its side. We're getting to the point where the atmosphere is quite thin. Let's go up this sort of angle for now. Yep, that's looking good. Okay. So the first thing we need to do is get them to go around Kerbin and do an orbit around Kerbin. Then we do an orbit around the moon and head off to Minmus. Leave the sphere of influence of Kerbin, come back to Kerbin, land, and then everything will be fine. So I've just realised that we're actually slightly overcooking it. My rockets always end up spinning wildly when you try and tilt them. Any idea why that is? So it could be a few things. One of them could be the mass to weight ratio. If you've got something very heavy at the top, it'll want to pull the rocket round and flip it. Another thing is if it's not very aerodynamic. You can see that I've got adapters on here to try and make the transitions quite smooth, make the whole rocket quite aerodynamic. If you've got something that isn't very aerodynamic, you need to put that top bit in a fairing. Okay. And also, one thing that you can do to help improve that sort of situation is you can use control surfaces or canards towards the bottom of the rocket. In theory, if you've got a nicely shaped rocket, you're doing your turn at the right point when you're not too high in the atmosphere and all that sort of good stuff, you shouldn't really need the fins on the bottom. Right, we're about to lose the first stage. There we go. We are now separating from that first stage and activating the second stage engine. So, just going to throttle off until we get to the point where we're at the propolis. Is SAS on? Yes, SAS is on. We do need to prograde. There we go. Let's open up all the bits and bobs. Get us in orbit of Kerbin. This is the first time I think JBN Network 17 have been in orbit of Kerbin. And as soon as we're in a decent orbit, I will cancel this burn. Okay, we've got an orbit. So what we'll do is we'll warp to here. So it's an 82-124 orbit, so it's not very neat, but it'll be fine. The first thing we're going to do is go to the moon. So we're actually not in the best position to do that, so I'm going to warp round again, just a little bit further. So it's going to take us an extra few minutes to orbit the planet. And there's the moon. It's actually in line with Minmus right now, and Kerbin, sort of. Pretty much. Okay, there we go. So let's see. We've got the moon over here. We're down there. We'll do a prograde burn. Now, if I remember correctly, the second stage not only got us to Minmus, but it managed to get us to do the landing to Minmus. For nearly all of the landing by itself. And we had plenty of fuel for the return journey. Now you've got to remember, these kerbals that we're flying, they need to actually return to gain the XP. You only gain XP when you get back to Kerbin. So the people on board are my Viewer Plus subscribers. So thank you very much to Nudger for supporting the channel, along with the rest of them. So we've done our game giveaway for today. Brandon won our game giveaway. Thank you very much, Brandon, for entering the giveaway. And also Brandon's a Viewer Plus subscriber as well, so thank you. And also I'd like to give a shout out for some upcoming stuff. We've got the second installment of my RimWorld Let's Play on Thursday. And we've got... Ooh, steady. There we go. That's a good one. And then we've got an open TTD event on the 31st. So because we went to the moon so straight, so true, I didn't have to really worry about any adjustments in course. So we just need to make this an orbit. It can be a highly elliptical orbit. That's not a problem as long as it's an orbit. There we go. So we can warp here. Yeah, open TTD event. Yeah, I hope your internet is fixed by then as well, Brandon. Okay, so this looks like we should really... Yeah, it's a bit of a weird exit from the moon, but it doesn't matter what sort of orbit we get, because then we're going to do a transfer to Minmus. There we go, that'll do. That's enough. So we're going to just do an escape from the moon. Bye bye moon. So that's an orbit of Kerbin, an orbit of the moon. Now we need to get a maneuver node sorted for Minmus. So there's Minmus. Let's put a maneuver node here. Push it out. Oh, maybe not there. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. This is the part that I find quite difficult, is actually pointing these things in the right locations to get this. We don't want to accidentally hit the moon. As you can see, we're actually quite far away there. Oh, it's twisted as well. That's a Kerbin escape. We don't want that. Oh, what was that? What was that? Look. It's not exactly how I wanted it, but we've got a Minmus encounter. You know what? I think I'll take that. So we've got 2 hours and so many seconds to go before the maneuver node. So let's walk closer. Get in position. and then we'll get ready to land these two special kerbals. Okay. Just realised it's actually trying to track prograde. We don't want that. We want it to go to this maneuver node. Try and get it relatively close there. Got about 11 minutes in. It's a 24-second burn this time, so that is not massively longer than last time. Still within sort of margins. 24-second burn, which means we want to do about 12 seconds before and about 12 seconds after. So we were at 18 seconds to go. It's just behind the camera there. Let me... There we go. Now you'll be able to see it. So we're just adjusting everything here to try and get this Minmus intercept. Now Minmus is the one we're going to land on, but you don't need a lot of delta V to land on it. That'll do. That will do. Okay. So Minmus. So if we warp, I'm going to do a warp manually. I don't normally like doing it, but no, I'm not going to do it manually because we'll end up missing the point, and we've got kerbals on board. So we're going to warp to here. So it's already been 6 days and they've been orbiting around in their craft. They're now on the way to Minmus. Minmus is here. It's going to intersect with our path and we're going to get within its sphere of influence. And when we're at the periapsis, we will do a retrograde burn to bring ourselves in orbit of Minmus. Think it's going to have to be quite a big one. Here we go. And we'll walk to the other side. And remember, this stage that we're in now only has to get us down close to the surface. So we've got 646 meters per second of delta V. So we're not doing as well as last time. We've not been as clean with our maneuvers, but that doesn't matter. Once we're on the surface, we'll be able to take off in any direction we choose. So that doesn't really matter. So we're just going to let the craft spin around. There they are. J-Bay and Network 17 absolutely enjoying themselves. I'll open up the landing gear now, just in case I forget at a later point. Kerbals don't need oxygen. You could say that they do, and there's just CO2 scrubbers on board. Right, there we go. So now the question is, where are we going to land? So we need to land somewhere on the surface where it's light and facing Kerbin. So ideally, like here is good. So kind of just want to bring that down. Yeah, like that. Let's just check the situation as we walk round. We've actually got our science station there. We're going over the hills. We're getting pretty close to them, I think. Yep. We're going to get over those hills okay. Look, no, we're not. We're going to crash into that hill. We need to land here. We need to perform an emergency landing. So which hill are we going to crash into? Probably none of them. Maybe that one. Okay, let's just land. This is good enough. So let's null off all of our sideways velocity. There we go. We're pretty much just going straight down now. That's the way we're going to do it, folks. Right, here we go. We're about 2 kilometers up, falling down at 45 meters per second. We're not going to be coming down at in the flattest of areas. Slowing things down a little bit. Getting ready to separate. Oops. We actually slowed down too much then. I wasn't concentrating on the speed. I was looking at too many different things at once. Okay, so we're a kilometre up. We're coming down at about 6 meters per second. I feel like switching vessels sometime soon. 11 meters per second we're coming down at now. 14. I'm going to try and reduce that to 10. 10 meters per second. There we go. Ish. We're coming down almost completely straight, so what I'm going to do now, about 600, is push us sideways, separate, switch, set us to retrograde, and slow us down a little bit more. We're 300 up, coming in at about 10. Got a little bit of sideways movement. I'm going to see if I can just get rid of some of that sideways movement. I think I did it. Look at the bounce on that from the explosion. It's going back up again. 100 meters now. We're coming in nice and slow. We've got plenty of delta V. Slow us down a bit more now. Last 30 meters, 20. Coming in at about 3 meters per second. Oh, we're going sideways. Oh no. We fell over. Okay. Oh, come in. Retract the solar panel. Okay. We can get away with 1 solar panel breaking. I don't want 2 solar panels to break. So, the good thing about Minmus is we might be able to save these 2 without... That was the second stage exploding over there. It's not good that they're on their side. But we should be able to do something about that, I hope. Did you land? I am sort of landed, yes. Let's get in the landing gear. Let's check what the situation is. Is the sun going down? Not sure. Let's take this antenna in. Okay. Don't know which way round this is at the moment. But the thing is, the SAS system on this... Okay, steady. You can't tell the difference between the surface and the space. It's difficult, isn't it? It's struggling to lift that heavy mass. Okay. Right, what we'll do... We'll get the landing legs out. we will we'll roll over so that we have that bit facing up. We'll EVA, and we'll take an EVA report. We'll take a surface sample while we're here. We'll let go. And look at how far these kerbals jump with their steps here. It is triumphant. Look at that. Look at that for a jump. That is, what's that? That's a surface feature. Look at that. That's how high we are just from jumping. My goodness. Are we going to make orbit? I am going to just do a little RCS puff as JB lands. There we go. So then the idea here, have I still got control of this? No data, limited probe control. Okay. Let's not have that bit. So then we get network 17 out. Actually, no, wait. Get in. Do a crew report. Crew report. Keep. Okay. Now EVA. Let go. Jump. And the idea is that I'm going to try and right the vehicle, but I'm not going to try and do it near the kerbals. So if we have any problems, at least they will be okay. You know? I wonder what these pieces down here are probably very useless. I nearly RCS power slammed these guys into the ground then. Hey, Network 17. We're just going to hang out here for a while if that's okay. So we've got that. Oh, it's just the kerbals. Right, so now we're going to try and right this. We've got one lot of solar panels that are broken. One lot of solar panels that are not. I think if we try... we've got limited probe control again. Because of the antenna, I guess. Now we've got full probe control. So I'm thinking we try and get it so that it's on a hill with the big end pointing up the hill. We may be able to use the hill to our advantage. Here we go. So there we go, look, it's already wanting to do that. So if we do a lift like this, and then I was thinking, are we able to then flick it up? Oh, almost. Okay, let's try again. Lift it up. I'm going to lift it up even more this time. And then flick it. Oh, nearly. Didn't put RCS on this, did we? At least we got some world first milestones. Just trying to think if there's any way where I could give this like a big boost to its flick to try. This is silly, but it is what reaction wheels can do in a low gravity. I mean, we can go the wrong way, that's for sure. But I'm just thinking now, if I do a big yes. I mean, it wants to fall over, but I did it. We fixed our rocket by standing it on its end and flicking it over. Right then. So the next thing to do is to get this kerbal jumping, turn its RCS on, get it back inside. And also get it onto the rocket without knocking the rocket over. Just realise that that is going to be a big challenge. Try and get it on the nose. Then I can gently descend. Okay, presumably board. Good. Okay, jump, RCS, go. Okay, so this kerbal's not quite in the right position. This is network 17. The last thing we want to do now is knock the rocket over. There we go, and board. Okay, folks. Our two kerbals are back. I'm going to open the solar panels. There we go. And we are now going to get these two off Minmus, round out of the Kerbin sphere of influence, and back to Kerbin. Well, I say now, I mean next time. Join me next time to find out if J-Bay and Network 17 actually make it home on their trepid journey. So far, so good. Fingers crossed for them. Thank you very much for coming along on this journey. I think we're doing really well. I think we need to step it up a notch over the next couple of live streams, but with the science about to absolutely pour in, fingers crossed we can do that beautifully. That's all going to be from me for now. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Remember, we've got RimWorld Thursday, and next Saturday, not this week, but Saturday next week, on the 31st, we've got my Open TTD Viewers game, and we're doing Team Islands, and it's going to be fantastic. Join me then. Take care, everybody, and for now, from me and everybody watching and chatting and all that, it's goodbye.